morning, 7:25, September 18th, 2019. Tomorrow is the night, is the party. Tomorrow's that party. Like it's 9/19/19. There's a football theme that's going to be in the news. I know it has to do with the Eagles. I know that because it's Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is going to be destroyed in 1 hour on the television set. Once they pull the plug, then it's going to be destroyed. Before that, it's going to get hit. Philly, Center City, is going to get hit. And then when the major catastrophe happens, that will be the miracles, signs, and wonders on the television screen. And hold on one second. I gotta. Crap. I just forgot something. Shit. I'll be right back. Alright, thanks. I'll see you later. Yeah. But, yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday, right? So, there's this theme going on, right? Where it's football, it's explosions, and it's going to be on the sidelines, and it involves someone named Deshaun, you know. Oh crap. So it involves someone named Deshaun, you know, the son of the king, the Jack, you know Jack, right? And then now, because it's a football theme, right? Now it seems like it's some type of cheese factory. It's like a cheese factory connection. Now it could be hey, look, it's the game of Clue. Alright, I thoroughly do appreciate, I'm gonna take these rattling keys off, these last days. So thankful that God gave me something to do where it's interesting. And it's interesting for the 450 false prophets too. Because what they're doing is this. You guys remind me of my cat, Decker, right? Because we have the one cat that stayed. We had to rename him Seven because, well, we thought I don't know. I just thought it was a girl, and it wound up being a boy. So every 2 months, we're calling this cat Sophia, like it's a girl, because it was long, like the mom. Because the mom was long, and that was the only cat that was long. And I'm thinking, it must be the only girl. I don't know, not a vet. So this cat, it's a kitten. So my older cat, Decker, who's like, he's about 8, 9 years old. He goes up to the cat, like in the beginning, when he first started interacting, the Decker would go up to 7 and kind of like hit him and then growl at him, but love him. Like it's like he loves him. This person just keeps inching up and inching up. He loves him, right? But he hates him, and then it's like it's like this. He goes up. He's like, I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. And so it's mixed emotions that the cat goes through, because he loves the cat naturally, but he hates him because he's invading his space. His space is being invaded by a newcomer, because Decker's been there for a long time, and then here comes this freaking new cat, and all of a sudden the new cat is taking his space. He doesn't like that. So that's what you guys remind me of. The cat that has his space invaded. Well, they did say there's an alien invasion. And if you know what the true aliens are, they're just simply the 144,000. So let's connect the dots. For me, it's fun. And then when it's over, there's going to be no more. The best part about it is there's no more explaining what I think is going to happen, and then what I see will happen. There's no more explaining that. It just starts to just be, after everything is settled, over and done with, and Scotty Alpine's tilling my yard. Yep. Because the way it has been promised is the exact opposite. This is what faith is. See, some people have blind faith, and some people have blind faith. Like delusional type of faith. You got two types of blind faith. The one blind faith is the type that you believe in something, that's unseen. You have no proof of anything. You had no promises from a man. None. Do you have a promise from a man? Is there any man in this world that promised that you would inherit the land and you would have servants under you serving you like slaves? Is that what you were promised? Because if so, that is blind faith. That's delusional faith. It's the Jonathan Kleck faith. But you're super confident. Not as confident as me with what I see, but you are super confident. And with that confidence comes a strong's delusion. And it's simply because you have proof, like you literally have proof. There's a man in this world who promised you life, liberty, rulership, to be worshipped. He told you that they are going to come and worship your feet. They're going to till your land. They're going to serve you as slaves. No, the elite serve us. They serve us. The kings, the princes, the queens, everybody that took our spot, they serve us now. When I say us, I'm not talking about you and the 450. I'm talking about serving us. The reason they're going to serve us is because they're going to be glad and willing to open up their doors for us to give. That's all. They're not going to be on their hands and knees tilling our yard as slaves. You're going to have people that are willingly wanting to do those things. Think about it now. Think about everybody. Think about everybody, okay? Everybody's going to a freaking job they cannot stand. Everybody in the world. Besides the elite, of course. billions of people are going to work every day. They have no choice. They kind of do, but they don't. When this change takes place, and it's changing, when it takes place, all of these people, they're still used to working. They still want to do something with their lives. It's just what they're going to do with their lives is a little bit different. Because the way things change, it changes for the better for humanity, for everybody. Not just for you, not just you guys. You know, the Satanists that believe what Steve told you is still true. It was true at one time, but you think it's still true? Well, that's where that pain and suffering comes in at, because you thought that it was going to work that way because you had another man promised you. It's like a signed contract. You guys are walking around like your shit don't stink. You're walking around like the football players that they sign this major contract, and all of a sudden they just don't really want to work as hard as they did before they got that signed contract, because they have a promise. They're promised to make a certain amount, X amount of money to play on a team for an X amount of years. So that's where the confidence comes in at, because you have confirmation. I get confirmation too, but it just comes from the creator source that created everything. And then what that source does is it shows me the people that I need to look at, the ones I need to study, take notes on. And then they give you their messages. Like I haven't even been able to watch his last 3 videos because I really do get sick to my stomach listening to him. He truly does make me sick. But it's because of the way he talks. It's the way he talks. It's the giddiness of that delusion that he has. I feel irritated, but then I feel kind of bad for him because I feel the pain, but then I don't care anymore about. Yeah, I'm tired of feeling everybody's pain. I've been doing this for my entire life. When I see people and I look, I have always felt what their pain is just by looking at them. I'm tired of it. You know, it's like Satan is tired of being such a dick. He is. He's tired of being the bad guy. He wants to be the good guy now. And then Christ is tired of being Mr. Nice Guy. He's tired of being nice to everybody. He's tired of turning the other cheek. So Christ, the Spirit, wants to dip into the Lucifer account to teach people a lesson, because that's what it's coming down to now. The ones that need to learn the lesson the most are the 450 false prophets. The ones that need to learn the lesson the most is all the Satanists that were promised to rule with Stephen James DeShawn. They were promised to rule with him. Well, he's the one that promised you. Remember that. And then, because what it is, you guys lie so much. You guys pretend that he's nothing over there, right? But you'll see about this the cheese factory. It's something, whether it's Green Bay in Wisconsin, the next major news dominating event, shooting, bombing that happens. The football game on the sidelines with the Eagles in Green Bay, or it's in Green Bay in Wisconsin, Wisconsin pinconning cheese. Yeah, it has something to do with that because, and this event won't be canceled. It won't be, because those other two events, they were only canceled because it was in Philly. There was 3 events back to back, right, that were supposed to happen in that batch. After the fire, after the shooting, there was 3 that were supposed to happen, but only one of them took place at the church of Philadelphia. That had to take place because it's the way it is. Philly has to. The shooting had to happen, and then the church had to burn down to represent what Kleck and Spears were talking about, with Philadelphia being next and the Church of Philadelphia. The next 2 didn't happen. The 3 back to back didn't happen. Or at least that one didn't happen. So this is the next batch that I'm giving up on, waiting for that next world news dominating event to happen here in Philadelphia to be part of that batch of 4. So I'm going to go with the next batch of 4 and where they're going to be at. And so Philly definitely gets hit. However, Green Bay is now in the picture. Wisconsin, it's in the picture. Something somewhere over there, some way or another, is look like it's going to dominate the world news. And because the Eagles are playing in Green Bay on September 26th, which is 3 days, and I seen the red carpet being rolled out at the Masonic Lodge, the Grand Lodge in Pennsylvania. It's right here in Philadelphia. I seen them roll out the red carpet, so they're getting ready. They're getting ready for the crowning. So Kleck is going to get crowned on the 23rd of September. I'll try to stomach listening to him today because I have to. I have to hear where he's coming up. Now, if he starts talking about cheese and something in Wisconsin, then it's just confirmation that it's going to be over there, like the next major news dominating event. And then it'll be a twin event, and they'll hop over here to Philly and do a similar takeoff. If the guy gets fired over there in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and he comes over here and fires 6 shots and shoots and kills 28 people, because it's a mirror. They do mirror events, and the big one, the big one's still yet to come here in Philly, and that might be I do have this feeling that once that devastation happens and the world sees Philadelphia just destroyed in 1 hour, like the entire, just everything's destroyed, and they'll blame it on a star that came from the sky and wiped out. But that's the miracle signs and wonders, and that's when we'll all be here. When the power goes off here, we won't be able to tell you over there that nothing happened. And this is what I wrote in my letter a couple of years back, is that you won't be able to tell people that we haven't been bombed like they're saying on TV, because they cut off our power. But just know that we're going to be fine. So that's what I see with being towards the end game. The end game, the most major catastrophe that's going to happen, which is like the tsunamis at New York and coming up from Florida, because Steve's dad was coming up from Florida. You're going to see that all these things happen on the TV screen, and then where it happens at, they just cut the power over there. They just flick the switch. It's what I would do if I was the top Luciferian in charge of the world script. I would do that, because nobody's really dying like that. And if people do take their lives because of it, you can't prevent everything from happening. you know, like, I do understand that's the reality of this is you can't prevent people from killing themselves if that's what they believe. If they truly believe that this world's coming to an end and they don't want to deal with it, and who knows what they're really going to do, but that's why it's important to get it out there to let people know that this stuff isn't lasting long and there's a trick behind it. So Kleck's getting crowned on the 23rd of September because that's the 2-year. This is all the elites plan. This is what they plan. They're going to crown somebody who's the Messiah of their choice. They cast, or is it, do they cast their ballots all on the 23rd? Or are they partying like it's 1999 tomorrow on 9/19/19, and then they, like, it's a who is going to be America's next top Messiah gathering. It's a gathering. And then, see, I think that might be, you know, Nick Vandelay. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him. He has very good information about the Bible. He knows the Bible. He's one of those people like that knows the Bible, and he makes a lot of sense when he's talking about how things are going to be. And he's only 3 days off of his calendar, I believe, from Harold Campings, and that's fine. But I think Harold Campings is, well, it might be, well, the one before that, the Steve Fletcher calendar, I think, is like 10 days before the Enoch calendar. It's early. So he knows that there's going to be a gathering. He calls the rapture a gathering, which I'm glad to hear that he doesn't believe we're going to really float up in the air and disappear, because it kind of shows like an intelligence with understanding the spiritual end of the Bible. And so he understands there's a gathering coming up soon. But it's the first gathering is going to be with all the false prophets, the 450 that have already been slain by the true word of God. You guys have been slain. And so you have that gathering first. Then you have the real gathering after that. So there was a 2-year period where people were King Heron over in Heron Road on Huron River Lake. The king, he wanted to kill the kids 2 years and under. So this is what it's tying into. Old King Ahab over there on Heron Road in Linwood, Michigan, is looking to kill the children 2 years and under. And Lefty, well, you always understood that the 144,000 are the children that were killed 2 years and under. Yes, that's the same. It's the same. The same spirits are being attacked again. And it wasn't really children 2 years and under. It wasn't literal. It's a spiritual thing back then too. It was all the people that woke up 2 years ago. We got to get rid of them, because that's why Richie from Boston, okay, when I made my invitation to him after I popped up 9 months ago, at the beginning of 2017, and then he started talking about don't trust people that popped up like 9 months ago. Well, he was talking about people like us, because the ones that popped up in the end are all the 144,000 that, well, at least it's half of them that woke up. The good half woke up last. The Luciferian half, if that's the case, if that's the way it is, because there's two tribes. There's the tribe of Israel and the tribe of Judah. One of them wakes up first. I believe it was the tribe of Israel that wakes up first. But whatever, either way, those children were 2 years and under. So anybody that hopped on YouTube that was right at 2 years and under, under, from the time of September 23rd, 2017, if you hopped on YouTube from that point and under, coming up in 4 days, 4, 3, 2, 1. If an event happens today, 18th, 19th, 20, 21. No, not yet. Yeah, because the alien invasion still has to happen. The 20th, tomorrow. I mean, 2 days from now. It's Friday. Friday, you're going to storm Area 51. And then what they're going to get out of that is an alien, like, takeoff. Like, they're all going to, like, pew, pew, pew. And because there's an invasion of these bugs in Ohio and Pennsylvania, that just means we're getting invaded by the aliens in these areas first. So don't forget about the alien invasion has to happen. And then the 23rd comes around and it's the crowning, or at least the casting your lots of the ballots that you picked of who wants, you guys are the judges. And Kleck is top runner-up. He knows it. He knows it. That's why the lesson, back to the lesson, the 7 billion people, look, they're going to be caught off guard. They're going to be humbled. They're going to be scared to death, and they're going to turn to God. That's just what they're going to do at this time. And then afterwards, after it's all said and done, we're going to worship our God, and then they and everybody else is going to continue to worship theirs. But there's still a little lesson being learned here to the world population. And then the land of Israel, the Israelites, we're going to be free. I don't know how the rest of the world is going to be, because the rest of the world isn't doing anything. They're just lukewarm. Well, they're not even lukewarm. They're not hot or cold or lukewarm. They just don't matter. They're not paying attention to anything. The ones that are paying attention, I feel like they earn a little bit more than just a good old attaboy. They earn a little bit more. They're going to have servants, and their servants are going to be the elite, and the elite's children, and the movie stars, and the rock stars, and all the stars of the earth that are going to fall, because there's going to be like a third of them that fall, because there's all types of stars that, these people have walked around. They don't get to get up early and go to work for 8 hours, like doing a nothing job. They have more motivation when they get up and when they go to do something, because they make a ton of money and they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, at any given time. And us poor schmucks, well, we just got to go wake up. It's so unnatural to wake up at like 6 a.m. when you're just now starting to get the really good sleep, and then you start waking up. It's like, thanks. This is real natural. It feels great to abruptly get up and go to a pointless job. That I do appreciate the job from my boss, I do. But it's that time, it's just that time. The time's up. It's played out. I'm not doing anybody any good by spending 10 hours of my day driving to work, working for 8 hours, and then driving back home. Then there's absolutely time to do just about basically nothing. Try to gather some information on the videos, and then it's time to go to sleep. That's been my life for the past 2 years, mainly. Well, really the past 21 months, because I did that fast December 25th, Christmas 2017, for 7 days, and then I got back on, made one last video before the new year, because I thought our channels are getting shut down. I did my last imitation of everybody, RFB and everybody, and then so from that point on, it's been 21 months straight of just spewing, you know, nonsense out of my mouth. A whole lot of nothing. Just entertaining, angels aware, you know, good and bad. I know I'm entertaining the good ones and the bad ones. But you Satanists, yous aren't going to rule like Steve promised you. And I'm just telling you that now. And you'll find out when he tells you that too. And you'll also find out when the money collapses, because you don't believe that the money's going to collapse, do you? Some of you know what Steve is doing, but others don't. Like his best buddies, you guys don't even know that he has already turned into Paul. But see, he's already been ruling since last year. He's king since last year. Kind of like, it's not like Solomon. Solomon was, there's one greater than Solomon. But Solomon was crowned, I think he was crowned like a year beforehand. Something that Nick Vandalay was saying made pretty good sense. And then, and there's one great, I think Steven even said that. He's trying to tell Tyler, it's not happening for you, buddy. It's so funny that he put Tyler on the top leading gang stalker in America list, just to give him like a boost. Like, oh man, that's so sad that you did that to him, Steve. But look, I agree. He has to learn a lesson. You know, all of your 450 false prophets have to learn a lesson, Steve. And they will. It'll take a little bit of getting used to, but they'll come around. They have no choice to come around. So when the money collapses and you guys took all that money and you're rich as hell, damn it, man, what are you gonna do when you see that it's completely gone? What are you gonna do when you see everything that I said is gonna happen is taking place after you were all talking about me behind my back and everything? Well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, "Motherfucker, man, he was right. Fuck. Damn it, I'm not gonna be the Messiah. I thought I was gonna have Robin till my land. I really wanted to have Robin till my land. Nah, not happening this lifetime. So for the next 1,000 years, we get to live in peace and harmony. Well, until I die. It won't last 1,000 years, but 1,000 years is a complete amount of time. Yeah, it'll last. And after 1,000 years, Satan he'll pop rear his ugly head back up again and start trying to misinterpret the scripture, because it's going to be a continuance. It's a digital scripture, you know, right here, digital scripture. They'll try to misinterpret what was being said and the things that happened, but there'll be a record. They'll keep a record of the truth, just like you guys have.